Chapter 35. Before departure, Tony had filed his flight plan from St. Louis to Austin, Texas, and had the fuel in his Piper topped up. His planned total flying time was slightly over 4 hours with the winds that day. The current time was approaching 4:30, and he was passing by Waco, Texas, on schedule. He'd decided not to call Stephen's parents until he'd had a chance to see for himself how Steve was doing. They'd be upset enough, and he wanted to give them as much information as possible when he called. During the flight, he'd had time to think about Stephen's circumstances and concluded that this could not have been a simple robbery. Why would a thief break both wrists and ankles? If caught in the act, a thief would do their best to incapacitate their victim, but probably wouldn't take the time to break bones, especially those bones. This had to be an attack whose aim was to bring about intimidation. The questions that needed to be answered were, who did this and why? Tony wasn't fully aware of Steve's personal life, but he was confident that Steve wasn't associated with any illegal or hazardous activities. Therefore, he surmised the attack had to have been intentional and possibly intentionally aimed at Steve. The other option was that perhaps this was just a case of mistaken identity, and the perpetrator mistook Stephen for someone else. Regardless, he planned to speak with the Austin police further after he visited the hospital to check on Stephen. Since Jennifer had another night to spend in St. Louis and she owed Javon Morris dinner, she pulled his card from her wallet and called the number. Special Agent Morris speaking. Agent Morris, it's Jennifer Bennett. How are you today? Things are progressing. I assume you're calling regarding the case? Sort of. I'm supposed to be returning to Chicago, but my departure got delayed until tomorrow. Since I owe you a dinner, I thought I'd see if you'd be available this evening. Javon thought briefly, wondering if he wanted to go down that path or stay and focus on the case. Jennifer sensed his hesitation and thought perhaps her call had been an intrusion. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting something important, she said, apologizing. Javon recovered and decided there'd be no harm in going out for a meal. No, that's okay. It's been an interesting day and dinner sounds like it would be a good break to clear my thoughts. What time were you thinking? I'm open. My slate is cleared, so whenever it would be convenient for you would work. How about 6 o'clock then? Sounds good. Where should we meet? Why don't I swing by your hotel then? Which hotel are you staying at? I'm still at the Hyatt. I'll wait by the front entrance and watch for your car. Okay, see you at 6. Thanks for calling. Javon hung up and wondered if he'd done the right thing. He realized he was drawn to this woman despite believing he'd moved on from engaging in any emotional attachments with the opposite sex. It was ridiculous to have feelings for her. After all, they'd just met and had never even gone out except for their short visit to Café Olé. He decided he needed to rein in his emotions and remain detached. Just the facts, Mom. That was the safest thing to do. Bravo's flight from Houston had landed in St. Louis. He walked over to the phones connected to various hotel reservations and picked up one of the receivers. The phone dialed a number automatically, and an agent came on the line. Reservations for which hotel? The female agent asked. Bravo quickly scanned the pictures of the hotels on the wall beside the phone. The first one to catch his eye was the Hyatt Regency. Hyatt Regency, he replied. The agent continued asking the usual questions required to book a room, and Bravo provided his responses accordingly. With the reservation made, he proceeded to the exit and grabbed a waiting taxi outside the terminal. The 20-something cab driver greeted Bravo enthusiastically. Hello, sir. My name is Carlos. Where may I take you today? He asked. Hyatt Regency, Bravo replied. As Carlos pulled the taxi away from the curb and began the journey downtown, he asked, Did you have a nice flight from Texas? How'd you know I came in from Texas? Bravo asked suspiciously. The Texas Longhorns bandana you're wearing, I assumed you were coming in from Texas. Oh yeah, a souvenir. I'm originally from Arlington myself. I miss going to those Cowboys games, though. Do you live here in St. Louis? No, I'm just here on business. Oh, what type of business are you in? To shut Carlos up, Bravo considered informing him that he was a hired professional enforcer, but chose not to. Instead, he said, "I'm in the motivation business. I motivate people." "Oh, like a motivational speaker like Harold Collins?" "Yeah, something like that." "That Harold Collins is great," Carlos said. "I've bought 2 tickets to his Bring Your Power Out conference that's coming up soon in Dallas, so I'll get a chance to get back to Texas. I've almost got enough for the airfare now. While I'm in Texas, I plan on attending a Cowboys game. I'm really looking forward to it." Bravo could sense the young man's energy and excitement over his planned trip. He wondered what it would be like to feel that excitement again. It had been years since he'd felt much of anything. To perform his job effectively, he had to suppress his emotions and rely on his instincts for survival. "Well, I hope your trip is all you hope it will be," Bravo offered. "Thanks, I'm sure it will. If you need a cab while you're here in St. Louis, I can give you my card. It has my cell number on it, and if you call me, I'd be happy to take you wherever you need to go. I don't know if I'll need a cab, but sure, I can take one of your cards just in case." "Thanks, man. I mean, sir. Sorry, I'm trying to be more professional when I speak to customers. It sets a better example." Carlos kept chatting the entire journey to the Hyatt, and Bravo reluctantly put up with it. Despite finding it annoying, Bravo couldn't help but envy Carlos's enthusiasm. "We have safely arrived at your destination," Carlos announced. He pulled into the drop-off in front of the hotel and stopped the car. Bravo looked at the meter, pulled out a $100 bill, and handed it to Carlos. "I'm sorry, I don't carry much cash," Carlos said, embarrassed that he'd not planned better for the transaction. "I don't have enough to give you your change." "That's okay. Keep the change and put it toward your trip." "Thank you, sir. Gracias, amigo. You have a great day, and here's my card. Call me anytime, day or night, and I'll be there within minutes." Bravo exited the cab and waved to the young driver, who smiled broadly and waved back. As he walked into the hotel, he went to the front desk, wondering what surprises St. Louis had in store for him.